Put this.
Okay.
Okay, yay.
Did we make it?
I know. I'm going to check. I'm going to go to my Facebook and check. Yes, we are. We are. Oh, wait, let me turn this down.
So is it supposed to go live on mine too, or? no?
Did you send it to a group? I see a group connected.
Okay. It just doesn't show it, I guess, on my end.
It should show it. It should show that you're live. We may have to retry after, like, next time or whatever. So I had to walk. It was like a whole thing.
Well, it said it was connected, but it's not showing that I'm connected.
I see a group on there. There says Carrie, there says Jimmy's names, and then it says a group. So maybe you accidentally connected a group.
No.
No? Well, you can share it from my page to you.
Yeah. I'll just do that.
Have we gone live yet? We are.
We are live. We are live.
Right.
Better put on them headphones.
I know. I need to.
I tried to put my headphones on, but it wouldn't connect. That's why I said I'll be glad when I get my new phone.
Okay, so welcome. We have Jimmy, a viewer, and a viewer from on my side. Welcome. Carrie's doing Carrie things. Carrie's going to start us off.
I don't really have a story.
Carrie's going to start us off with how she starts her TikTok live.
Talking about insulin resistance.
Well,
That's right.
I'm good at that one.
Yep.
Make sure these are connected.
Okay.
I gotta smell my gum because I get carried away. And I was like, gung, 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 and everyone's like, could you lose the gum? Okay.
So let me turn this down.
I gotta smell my.
We are live on.
Wait, I have to go to my FB and click share, right?
No, it's already live.
I don't have to go I don't have to tag people in it or something. Followers.
No. Oh, you can do that. Yeah.
Can I do it from here, or do I have to go over there and do it?
Facebook.
So complicated. Facebook. Okay, let me click share. Okay. Do I touch my little person and then do it?
Do what?
Find you guys. Share.
Doesn't it show that you're live?
Yeah. Do I click on that thing and then share it, or just the whole thing?
No. Is there a red circle around your picture?
Yeah. I just want to tag.
It means you're live. You don't need to share it. You are live through this stream.
Well,
hey, guys. Hey, Heather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Heather accepted my friend request. Okay.
All right. Let's go.
All right. Let's talk about why we're sick. All right. Here we go. Now, it's just kind of like one of those things you're thinking, okay, I got all the things. Okay. Who in here has been told that you should snack all day long? Anybody? Because we're going to talk about why you're sick and why you feel like crap in the first place. And if you understand that, you can fix it. It's easy to fix. But the problem is we don't know why we're sick. We think it's because Aunt Janine, she had the diabetes, and so I'm going to get the diabetes. It's like you think that, like, no, guys, no. All these things, heart disease. I was just eating too much salt, and I got heart disease. No, guys. Okay, listen. We're going to talk about how there's one root cause, unless it's a genetic anomaly or an infection. It's probably somehow related to the body's inability to use the hormone insulin as it should. Now, if you're like me, you're thinking insulin, I think that's for diabetics. That's what we all thought. But guys, is insulin just for diabetics?
Nope.
No. Okay. This is the deal. This guy right here, Dr. Benjamin Bickman. Now, I know it's backwards. You guys can maybe see it's Bikman. Now, this book, it's going to save your life. Okay. You're going to go to Audible, download it for free. You probably have a credit somewhere. You're going to go to the library whatever, you're going to start listening to this book. And by chapter 2, you're going to be like, what? Okay, every cell in our body has an insulin receptor. So you're like, okay, so, right. Okay, so when your body is constantly flooded with insulin, your cells become insulin resistant. Now, whichever cells are basically resistant is pretty much your side effects. PCOS,
Mm-hmm.
type 2 diabetes, IBS, skin tags. Yep. I mean, deep, dark places. Okay. Arthritis. Okay. So
Acanthosis nigricans.
you're thinking this is not really, yeah. Okay. So what Dr. Rickman did, he started studying all of these things, spent thousands of hours and found out every cell in your body has an insulin receptor. So what happens is we're told to snack and eat, except nobody fails to mention that when we eat our typical food, our blood sugar goes up and our body releases insulin. Okay. This is the deal. If you're insulin sensitive, whoop, that sucker can come down in about 4 hours. You're good. But if you're insulin resistant, what Dr. Midge was in here the other day, she said it could take 18 hours or more for your insulin to drop.
Depending on how insulin resistant you are.
Yeah. So if you're insulin resistant, which 9 out of 10 Americans are insulin resistant. So think about it. If you're insulin resistant and you're constantly eating, your insulin is probably elevated for literally decades. Okay.
Right.
Your body's amazing. But after a while, the cells are like, I'm done. So those cells become resistant. Okay. And then you have side effects. So what you need to do is, number one, stop eating all the time. Because you're like, I don't think I can do it. You can do it. Okay. We got to get out of the habit. Okay. It's just up here that we think we can't. Number 2, we have to add fiber before we eat. Now, Michelle, do you have your little slide about fiber? CDC.
No, but I can let you share and you can show. Are you on your computer?
Yes.
I
can put slides on here?
Yeah.
Do I have to touch something?
No, hold on. I got to do it. Hold on. Whoops. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Oh, no. That's okay. Hold on. Share.
Is it working?
Well, I think
I gotta touch something down here.
Request it
last time.
Request the little share
Screen
icon.
share.
Yeah, and then I'll approve it.
This is so cool. Now, can I see me and it at the same time?
I don't know. Yeah. See, look. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Okay.
Okay, this is amazing.
And then I can make this bigger if you want.
Okay, wait. Let me see if I can see that and you at the same time.
Yeah, because on my phone it's tiny.
Hold on. Where'd you go? Hold it. Okay. Oh, look at this, guys. This is amazing. This is going to be so cool.
Can you see it better now, Heather?
Okay, let me make this go down.
Can you get rid of the text?
Yeah, hold on. I'm turning it off for.
Okay, I'm gonna shut down about 45 of my tags because you know how I am with the tabs. Oh, darn! That was all of them. Crap.
Really?
You know what? I think I have these on, but I had never connected.
Carrie doing Carrie things.
Carrie doing Carrie things.
Listen, you guys are going to make a shirt, right? It's going to say, it's just Carrie doing Carrie things.
You know what? We need to all have a shirt that says Carrie's doing Carrie things. And then we should all wear it when we go live.
Yes, we know.
Carrie shirt.
I think that's it. Okay. Now, let me make this smaller, and I think I can see both screens at once then, and then this is going to be like so amazing. Okay, guys. Okay. Back to where we were. Okay, scoot this over. Oh, this is so much fun. Okay, here we go. This is what I want to share with you guys right here. So basically, we're told to eat and snack all day long. Your blood sugar goes up, and because there's really no fiber, healthy fats, or protein, your blood sugar is going to spike, and then it's going to crash. And now why most of us think, oh, I just need better self-control. Guys, no, look, when your blood sugar crashes, you get the hunger. It's just going to happen. Now, when you are snacking and eating all day long, your insulin doesn't have time to come down. And why that's important is because of this right here. No one's probably ever shared this with you. You see this right here? If you are feeding, your body is literally storing calories. Can't drop the pounds. You're wondering why you're insulin resistant? Right here. Your insulin's high. It doesn't have time for your body to switch fuel sources. Now, don't be scared of this word. Hold on. Okay. But most of the time, our body uses glucose for energy. Okay. And if you're thinking, why I have all this back here, why won't it go away? It's because you're snacking. It's the enemy. It's keeping your insulin elevated. So you are storing calories. Okay. We want to not do that, guys. We want to enjoy food, but avoid food that does glucose and insulin spikes. We want to avoid overeating. It's really simple, but you're like, oh, okay. Also, there's this word right here, guys. And now the first time I heard about it, I was calling it carcinogenic acid. I know, because you know how I am. Anyway, it's chlorogenic acid. And guys, this stuff is amazing. Okay. When you start looking up chlorogenic acid, you're going to find out this is the word Big Pharma does not want you to know about. Look at this study on chlorogenic acid right here. Chlorogenic acid is a novel insulin sensitizer that potentiates, well, that's a long word, isn't it? Potentiates insulin action, similar to the therapeutic action of metformin. Did you all know there's an all-natural plant metformin and you don't have to have gastroparesis or neuropathy? Okay, guys, it's amazing. So where do you get this chlorogenic acid? It's in coffee, tea, pears. You probably heard this guy here talk about it because yerba mate is a great source of chlorogenic acid. And it also acts as a natural GLP-1. Now, if you guys are on Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, Zepbound, Zippity-Doo-Dah, Trulicity, whatever the heck it is, okay, all those things, they're GLP-1 agonists. They're way, way too much GLP-1 for your body. It doesn't know what to do with it. And it's making your stomach be paralyzed. We got to hear Dr. Bickman speak, guys. 40% of the weight lost on a GLP-1, like those jabby jabs, 40%. So say you lose 100 pounds. Oh, I lost 100 pounds on Ozempic. Okay, well, guess what? 40 pounds of that was bone and muscle. Okay, that's what Dr. Bickman said. So think about it. It's not like you at the gym anyway. No, and you're not going to get that muscle back. But think about your bone. You think you're going to get your bone back? Now, Ron, are you in here somewhere? Okay, Ron's girlfriend. She was on the jabby jab and she went to the doctor and they're like, we're going to do a bone density. And they're like, oh, I don't think so. Why would you want to do that? Guys, if your doctor's asking you to do a bone density scan and you're on one of those jabs, there's a reason. Okay. Avoid those. Get the plant. Let's see. What's the other thing? Okay. Chlorogenic acid is in a concentrated form of the yerba mate plant. Now, Michelle, I have so many slides that's just kind of really cool, but I like you guys to go into more detail about exactly what chlorogenic acid is and where we get it. Can you do that?
Yeah. Are you wanting me to stop your share?
No, you can share and I'll show the pictures as you're doing your thing.
So I do have a little story to tell about the chlorogenic acid.
Okay, perfect.
So we're coming on. So in 2012, it's about this time in 2012 that is the very first time I had ever heard and we had come across chlorogenic acid. My first husband, my late husband, the cancer had metastasized from the colon to the liver.
Mm-hmm.
And we went on a desperate search when the doctors were like, basically, there is no hope at this point unless we can get another medical team outside of the state of Montana that can help you. Basically, we're going to sit and we're going to watch and hopefully we can shrink it or whatever. Well, we went and did our own little research and we came across chlorogenic acid as something to potentially help. Wow. We took it to the oncologist and the oncologist said, get it out of our heads right here, right now. And he was very firm. He was very rude. He's like, you need to get it out of your head right now, because if it even touches it, you would have to take such a drastic amount that you're going to damage the heart. And so you're going to trade the cancer for the heart disease or both. And so at that time, we couldn't find enough to counteract what the doctor was saying. We'd only come across a small tidbit about chlorogenic acid.
Wow.
And, hindsight, it makes me angry because the way the doctor talked about it, the way he said it, I feel like in my heart that he knew what he was telling us was a lie. And so hindsight, what's that?
Oh, I was telling her that's better.
Oh, okay. So anyway, hindsight, I really feel like it would have helped him. And I feel like we were onto something, but we didn't have enough resources to really deeper dive into the information. And we had to listen and go off of what they said. And we ended up getting referred to Denver. And at this point, he spent the last 2 months of his life in ICU. So after having a surgery that did not end up saving his life.
What year was that?
2012.
Okay.
So, and we're hitting about that anniversary time frame where we found out it metastasized and we were on a frantic search trying to figure out what could be done.
Mhm.
But when I heard about chlorogenic acid after I was listening to Roe, when I was before I hit the buy now button, and I was like, gosh, that sounds so familiar. Why does it sound familiar? And then I
Mm.
came the notes that we had of things, because I was an avid blogger back then, just journaling journaling the journey of the cancer, and chlorogenic acid was in there.
Wow.
And I was just like, you have got to be kidding me. We were onto it back then. And it was like at our fingertips, but not enough information. So now we fast forward to today, and knowledge is power, and knowledge needs to be spread, and knowledge needs to be shared. So
Mhm.
to help save
That's
someone
right.
else. So that they know that there's options. Hello. So anyway, that I just had to share that because the people need to know there's options.
Yeah.
There's something out there.
Well,
Right.
when I found out, like what you're saying in Dr. Bickman's book, that if you're insulin resistant, you're 250 times more likely to get colon, breast, or prostate cancer. I'm thinking, not one doctor said anything about my husband being insulin resistant. I mean, how many people do we know that have passed? And this information has literally been out there. I mean, some of the studies on chlorogenic acid go back, I mean, a long time. And you're just thinking,
Yeah.
just really heartbreaking to know we have people that are suffering that don't have to suffer. I mean, how many people are on metformin, end up with that vitamin B12 deficiency, and end up with neuropathy?
Exactly.
I mean,
But they don't know what they don't know, just like we didn't, what we know
Yeah.
now.
True.
So
and people that are on any meds, you need to know that the PDR.net is free. It's the physician's desk reference online. It's digital. And if you're old like me, you probably remember this book here being on your doctor's desk, and now it's digital. You can literally go online and enter your meds and see what the side effects are. Now, Michelle, I don't know if I can pop up another tab. Let me see if I can. PDR.net. Let's see if we can put it up. Okay, guys, can you still see my screen or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at the physician's desk reference.
Okay, so you can't see the PDR. Let me see if I can.
Try and reshare it, and it'll repopulate.
Okay, gosh, you're asking me to do something techie, I feel like. Okay, where am I going to see this reshare thing? Okay, wait, hold it.
There we go. And then request, and then pick that page that you want.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Look at me go, guys. Woohoo! Okay, so do we have anybody that's even watching or listening? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
come on, those the replay.
Let's go to Lipitor and click search now. And what you're going to be able to do, type in any meds that you're on. But once you go to Lipitor, just click drug summary.
That's true, Heather.
Okay, and you're going to want to just go down and click adverse reactions. Okay, and when you start going through these, now think about it in the first place. Why are we taking Lipitor? Who knows why we take Lipitor? Michelle?
It's a cholesterol medication, and it's the most prescribed medication in the United States of America. It also causes insulin resistance.
Okay, now everybody that's on Lipitor doesn't necessarily have high cholesterol.
No.
Okay, 44% healthy males are on it just as a preventative, and 22% healthy females, correct?
Yes, because somebody in their family had a history of heart disease. But the thing is heart disease is not, let me repeat that again, not hereditary. Heart disease is caused by insulin resistance. So they're putting healthy people, there's an over 40% uptake in statin prescription medications prescribed to people who do not need it as a preventative, like she said.
Okay. Now,
And it's literally giving them
what's wrong with having a little high cholesterol? Is that really the problem? Is that going to
no.
unalive us? What is the problem? Why do they care?
Lower cholesterol is worse on us because cholesterol. We need cholesterol in our brain. We need cholesterol in our body. Heart disease is caused by insulin resistance because insulin resistance causes an extreme amount of inflammation. Inflammation oxidizes our vessels, kind of like pipe oxidation, right? When pipes gets oxidized, you start to get cracks and leaks. The job of your cholesterol, when it gets a little crack, is to kind of patch that up. And so it bunches up cholesterol here to heal your vein. And what happens is the platelets stick to the cholesterol. Therefore, you have a blockage. It's not salt. It's not cholesterol. So when your cholesterol gets too low, your brain actually stops functioning very well, and part of it can die off.
So it's interesting that we're on something to help do one thing, lower our cholesterol, yet the adverse reactions, I mean, hepatic failure, tendon rupture, renal failure, pancreatitis. I mean, some of these stroke, lupus-like symptoms. And then how about this? Did y'all know Lipitor causes type 2 diabetes as well as dementia, Alzheimer's? I mean, we're taking something that's supposed to lower our cholesterol, but I mean, then we find out really cholesterol isn't the problem. And all these side effects that we're dealing with that we get more meds for and more meds for are, I mean, think about it. If you take Lipitor and become a type 2 diabetic, they're going to have you medicated on their subscriptions for the rest of your life because most of us never knew you could reverse it.
Right.
So go to the PDR.net, guys, start educating yourself. The other thing is Dr. Bickman's website, Insulin IQ. But what you want to do is start becoming insulin sensitive. And how you do that is you consume copious amounts of chlorogenic acid. Chlorogenic acid is found in things like coffee, tea, pears, blueberries, all sorts of things. It's a polyphenol, it's a plant compound. Okay. It's found in the yerba mate. Michelle, can you talk to us about that or whoever about the yerba mate and all how wonderful it is?
Hey, real quick before we do that, while you're on the PDR, do me a favor, type in Advil.
Oh, Advil, okay.
Because everybody pops Advil.
Is that acetaminophen
or
Tylenol?
No, just Advil.
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 Insomnia and anxiety can be linked to insulin resistance.
That's one. Okay, Advil. Let's check up Advil.
And
Adverse
people
reactions.
pop these like candies.
How about this GI perforation?
Perforation?
Guys,
Yeah,
that's the one. Or perforation, if you're preferred.
That's when your bowel gets a perforation. It breaks basically.
It's
But
like
look
those
how long
little
this
dots.
list is, though.
How about peptic ulcer, GI bleeding, pancreatitis, visual impairment? Now, you guys wouldn't think ibuprofen could cause visual impairment. And like you're saying, people pop Advil, and I was popping Advil because I had migraines because I didn't realize I had insulin resistance. Renal papillary necrosis. Now, I'm pretty sure necrosis means something's rotting. Renal.
Yeah, so renal is your kidneys and stuff like that.
Heart failure. So ibuprofen causes heart failure. I didn't know that one. Okay.
Yeah, look at all
Toxic epidermal.
Esophageal stricture.
Hey, it also causes that Steven Johnson syndrome. I don't know if y'all have looked that up. That's disturbing.
Yeah.
Renal tubular necrosis. I think this is protein in your
Nephrotic
urine.
syndrome. That basically means your kidneys stop working.
Stroke,
Isn't that crazy? Look
vasculitis,
at that list.
coma, seizures,
What detox did you do, Heather?
anemia. Wow.
But look, that list is longer than a CVS receipt.
It's really sad.
Look at it.
Longer than a Walmart receipt because we all know we can't go in Walmart and get one thing.
I can now. I'm way good at it.
It's
I
potato
just look
chip.
around and realize they're trying to kill me and I leave. Vomiting, abdominal pain, nausea, tinnitus. People
Look,
say I have
headache is
tinnitus.
on there. You're trying to get rid of your headache, but headache is on there.
Right.
That was my son's reflux medicine. He'd been on it for 15 years. I said, let's look it up on here. His reflux medicine, one of the side effects was reflux. And I was like, how are you going to know when to get off?
Okay.
That's the
Just
whole point, I
my
guess.
blood pressure medicine. One of the side effects was vertigo. I dealt with vertigo for an entire year. After they kept telling me it should just be disappearing, and it made no sense why it wouldn't go away. Well, the medication that they stuck me on, one of the side effects was vertigo. I was like, well then.
Wow, what is that? The
Wow.
box warning?
Yeah.
Alcoholism, something. Yeah, wow. Anticoagulant therapy, chemotherapy. Wow. Crohn's
Just
disease,
crazy.
GI bleeding, GI disease, GI perforation, peptic
Most
ulcer disease.
spontaneous reports of fatal GI reactions are in elderly or debilitated patients. Special care to be taken in treating this population.
Yeah, meds. Most medications, when we look on the PDR, most of them cause dizziness. Most of them cause dizziness, headache.
Okay. Do you guys see this line right here? Can you all see this right here? That little thing on the screen right there?
Uh-huh.
Okay. This is the drug interactions.
See, this is what I was saying. This is Advil. This is something
That's
that we just
Advil.
pop like
Yeah.
candy.
That's crazy.
I mean, we're still in the A's. There's B, bacitracin.
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah.
Just
Anyway, guys,
insane.
go to the PDR, enter your meds that you're on, and understand why you're sick. Now, this is the other thing, like metformin. Most people that are on this have no clue that metformin causes a vitamin B12 deficiency, and a vitamin B12 deficiency causes neuropathy, but heart failure. Why are people on metformin in the first place?
Lower their heart rate.
I mean, what do most people take metformin?
I'm sorry, diabetes.
Diabetes.
Okay.
I was thinking of metoprolol.
So heart failure. So is it what's better, to have diabetes or heart failure? Bone fractures. I mean, macular edema, visual impairment. Here you go, guys. Here you guys. You think, oh, this one isn't bad, vitamin B12 deficiency, till you understand a vitamin B12 deficiency causes neuropathy.
Right.
Jaundice, hepatitis.
Cholesterol, diabetes, magnesium.
Blurred vision.
A lot of things cause the farts right here. I mean, everyone I flicked on basically caused.
Beans cause farts too.
It's interesting. Anyway, and then you click, let's see what the boxed warning. Oh my.
Heather, do you think she would just drink the tea if she thought it was just tea? And you didn't tell her nothing about it?
You just tell her it was lemonade.
No, tell her it's magic tea. That this is Carrie's magic tea.
Yeah, her mom doesn't. Her mom will just argue.
Oh.
Okay. Let's get into some nitty gritty. Whoops, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Woo! Hold on. One moment, please.
Just give her the tea and they'll tell her what it is.
There we go. Sorry. All right, Jimmy, you're up. Jimmy has got a great story.
Jimmy's in the house.
He just found out today.
Healthy box.
He just found out today, thanks to Chat GPT, that he had his thyroid removed unnecessarily.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's very disturbing.
Yes. You want me to read that part before you start?
So, yeah, go ahead.
So
Michael's not going
to.
One reason.
Michael, make sure you click connect your Facebook or whatever before you come in.
In severe cases of insulin resistance. Nope. Hold on. Let me go back. Okay. Insulin resistance typically contributes to weight gain rather than preventing it. This is because insulin resistance can lead to higher circulating insulin levels, which promotes fat storage, particularly in the abdominal area. Insulin resistance. Let me get to the right one. Chronic conditions like celiac disease, IBS, and hyperthyroidism might coexist with insulin resistance, potentially leading to weight loss or difficulty gaining weight despite the presence of insulin resistance. So, from there, Jimmy, take it away and explain how that has affected you.
Like I said, that's kind of disturbing to me because it was about 12 and a half years ago or 13 years ago, I guess. I'll be the first one to tell y'all, like, I'm a raging alcoholic. And, when I start drinking, like, it's kind of hard to stop. And I would like pound down, two 24 ounces right before work. And I was doing the twisted teas. And I think that's what probably caused my insulin resistance now, after hearing what you're talking about there. And if I'm doing that on the way to work and then drinking at work, and then when I get off of work and I pound two more on my way home, it's like I'm just drinking like all the time. There's my insulin resistance. But instead of telling me like, hey, you're probably insulin resistant, you might want to stop whatever you're doing or change your diet or, something. Hey, let's go ahead and just remove your thyroid. That's going to probably be the best and easiest way to do it. And I said, okay, well, you're the doc. Let's go ahead and do that. So I had a total thyroidectomy 12 years ago back in December. And like right after that is when like all of my health issues began. I started, gaining weight, putting on all the fluffage. I would look at a cheeseburger and like I'd get 5 pounds, straight to my butt. I would look at an ice cream cone and my belly would just like, get huge. It was just crazy. And I had to go to the doctor every 3 months to get my lab work done. And it was crazy. Next thing I knew, I was pre-diabetic. And 3 months later, I go back, hey, you've got non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I go back 3 months later, you've got high blood pressure. And they start putting me on all of these things, and it just seemed like it was one thing after another, after another, after another. Next thing I knew, I was type 2 diabetic. I had sleep apnea, depression because of all of it. I started getting erectile dysfunction, acid reflux. It's like I was all of these different things. And then here came the chronic fatigue. I had no energy, no drive to do anything. I just wanted to sleep all the time. I was just going through the motions of life. And I can tell y'all firsthand, like, I pretty much gave up on life. I was done. And luckily, one May evening back in 2023, I was scrolling on TikTok and found a couple of guys, talking about, insulin resistance. First one I found was Greg Six. He was talking about neuropathy and, all the other, conditions that, insulin resistance. Tried reaching out to him, but apparently the message thing for him doesn't work. I think he was banned from messages or something. But then I found
he was.
Yeah, and then I found Dean, and I resonated with him a lot. And he had diabetes as well. His dad died at an early age. My dad died at an early age. His dad's dad died at an early age, and so did mine. And so I just started listening to him. And for about 2 months, I sat in the background just listening. I was like, you know what? I've got nothing to lose. I've tried anything and everything before. I've tried, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers. I tried keto, all those different diets and stuff. No matter what I did, I just could not lose any weight. It was kind of like that yo-yo thing that we all go through. Like you lose 5 pounds,
right?
You gain 10. You lose 10 pounds, you gain 20, and it just nothing seemed to stick. So I was like, this was kind of like my last what do you call it? Last draw, like my last hope. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. There's a 90-day money back guarantee. Let's see what happens. So I went ahead and ordered it. Got to my doorstep pretty quick. Um, I'd say like 3 or 4 days. I opened it up and I was kind of happy at the time. Put it in my pantry and then I kind of forgot about it. 2 weeks later, I was like, "Hey, what am I doing? I've got that stuff that I saw. I need to go ahead and start it." So it was a Sunday afternoon. I told
Right.
my wife, I said, "Hey, let's go down to the beach. Let's have. I want to go have one last hoorah before I start on this." I said, "I'm going to change my life tomorrow," and I was pretty much all in because, like I said, it was my last hope. So when I got home from the beach, I weighed myself, measured myself. I went and got blood work done from my doctor. I did all kinds of different things, measured myself. That way I had, a starting point to look at. And when I started the next day on Monday, um, I just I just started exactly like I was told. Quit eating breakfast and quit snacking. So I was only eating lunch and I was only eating dinner. I did not change my diet
Right.
whatsoever, and I didn't go to the gym. I haven't stepped foot in a gym in I don't know how long. I'm kind of like Michael. I'm allergic to gyms. uh, I don't like to sweat
How
either.
was your how was your fatigue? Heather's husband, they just ordered today, and
That's awesome.
his fatigue his fatigue was so awful, and I know Michael's was too, and Michael will talk about it in just a
Yeah,
second.
mine
But
mine was horrible. My wife will even tell you. I I would eat, and then the first thing that I'd literally pass out. Like if I was sitting on the couch, I would pass out. Um, I couldn't go out to play with my son, and it sucks because all of this happened right after he was born, and I missed a lot of his life growing up. I missed the whole father son, bonding and stuff, and teaching him how to throw a baseball, and trying to teach him, the fundamentals of football, and all kinds of fun stuff. Um, and it sucked. Um, yeah, but I literally started this thing, and I could tell in the first week, all of a sudden I had energy, and I was like, "Where is this coming from? Like, I don't know what this is. Like, this is weird." I totally forgot what it was like to feel normal, and it started coming back. You could see within the first week or two, the inflammation was going away, like in my face, and I
right,
couldn't really see it, but in pictures I could see. Like if I took a picture, um, it was just weird. All of a sudden, like wow. Fast forward to the 90 days, I was able to reverse my type 2 diabetes. My A1C dropped from a 7.6 down to a 5.5. Um, my non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, like my liver enzymes, went from out of the roof down to normal. So I reversed my fatty liver. Blood pressure was starting to normalize. Sleep apnea was gone. Depression was gone within the first week or two. Acid reflux was gone within like the first 2 or 3 weeks. ED started going away. I was down 46 pounds in that first 90 days. So this is my picture, if y'all can see that. So this was the day that we went to the beach, and then this was literally 90 days later. So that big old belly with that visceral fat was gone, and it was totally amazing. So I was going to get my money back, but I decided there's no way after seeing all of those results, I actually have my health back. So I went into this just to lose a few pounds because I was told my whole life that, being type 2 diabetic, your dad had it, all of his side of the family has it. So you're going to have it. I was told that, both of my
right,
parents have high blood pressure. So you're going to have high blood pressure. And, they said they're chronic progressive diseases. What I've found out is that that's not true. They're actually just dietary diseases. We ate our way into it. We can eat our
mm-hmm,
way out, and that's exactly what I did just by following this protocol consistently. I just consistently took it. Um,
that's the key. Be consistent.
yep, and I was all in on it. You know, I was, like I said, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and it changed my life. So now I've been in for 18 months, and I'm down
Right,
88
Heather.
pounds, and off of 8 medications total. So this thing and all the other ones that I was on, I feel amazing now, and it's been life changing. It's life saving, life changing.
And I've seen Jimmy in person.
Got my life back.
He looks like a completely different person.
I feel like a completely different
Yeah.
person. And I'll tell you what, this guy that was right here, I never want to see that one again. So I'm going to be on this for the
Right.
rest of my life for maintenance.
We're lifers, yo.
Because I've actually gotten back to my um, what is it, the pre-thyroidectomy, before I got sick. I'm back to that size again. I'm back to the weight that I was when I met my wife. I'm the exact same size from when I met her 15 years ago, and I never thought that was going to happen. I was just like, wow. So best decision I've
Right.
ever done.
Michael, what's up? You got your calls made?
I fell in the snow today and hit my head. Who are you people? I don't even know y'all.
We are your worst nightmare.
You fell in the snow?
I'm a bill collector. Michael, you owe me about $222,000.53.
Yeah.
Wow. I need to go fall again and wake up. I did fall. Sure enough.
Did you really fall? Or
I
you
did
just...
fall.
Oh gosh, are you okay?
A little sore, but I live.
If you hit your head, you'll be okay.
I have a story I'll tell you about because you guys know I need 2 spinal surgeries and I'm all jacked up. So I was on the system for a few months.
Steven, what's up, brother?
Like 2 months, right? About 2 months, 2.5, 3 months, something like that. I'm at my sister's house and she had some janky stairs. All right, Heather, that makes me so happy. I know we've talked about it quite a bit. She had some janky stairs. She's since rebuilt them, right? So it was like raining, and I'm really careful, like deliberately careful because I don't want to fall because my spine is just jacked, right? Guess who falls? But I don't only just fall downstairs. Somehow I fall sideways and I roll ka-thunk, ka-thunk, ka-thunk down the stairs, land face first in the mud, and I'm laughing. Now, did it hurt? Sure, but I literally popped back up. You can ask Carrie. If I had fallen before this protocol, I would just lay there and feel like I was going to die, literally. And I would say, "Don't touch me." Just I would have laid in the rain because I wouldn't have been able to get up. And so I just popped right back up and I was laughing and my sister's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I'm like, "No." But I'm like, "Yes." And I was she's like, "Why are you laughing?" I said, "Because I never in a million years would have been able to get up that fast." Anyway, go ahead, Michael. I just wanted to share that with you.
That's Sandy.
What we doing?
Carrie, what the heck are you moving? It's like, all right, Heather.
It's Carrie doing Carrie things.
Okay. It's Carrie doing Carrie
Thank
things.
you all.
We love you. All right, Michael. Do your thing, honey, boo boo.
We're telling stories.
I love listening to Michael's story.
I just love listening. I love Southern accents. So I love
Well,
Michael's
I
story.
tell you what.
He's from Belmont, Mississippi.
Belmont, Mississippi.
That's right.
You know that. Yeah.
I love his doctor's accent.
I've told this before, but when I went to college in Memphis, that's only 2 hours from here. And I had to take a speech class one semester. And every Friday was speech day. There were 40 people in the class. And the instructor was from California. And he would get up there on Friday. All right, who's going first? 39 fingers is pointed toward me. And they would literally sit on the edge of their desk, just like tuned in. So to make a mistake, that's a lot of pressure to be able to go first. And I can't tell you how many people like, you live on a farm? I'm just 2 hours from here. What's the problem? And you think I'm bad. You aren't hear my dad. Oh, my gosh. But anyway, it was a year ago this month that I found the Healthy Pitmaster. It was January of 2024. I was consuming a big old pizza. Slept till noon, which is about an everyday thing because I'd sleep 10, 12 hours a day, wake up with chronic fatigue so bad that I didn't even want to get out of the bed. And, I resorted to eating food when I was going through depression and things. That's just one way that I coped with it. And I knew what a pitmaster was, and I thought he was going to be talking about food, but he wasn't. He was talking about high blood pressure. That was me. High cholesterol. That was me. Type 2 diabetes. That was me. Very overweight. That was me. Everything that he mentioned was me. And so kind of bypassed him. And then the next day there he was again. I started following him. And I followed him for 6 months. About month 4, I had bought in on the system that I kind of wanted to do it, but I didn't think I could afford it. I was on a fixed income.
Right.
I got a little old $1,500 a month check from the government and try to live off of that for 30 days or 31 days.
I couldn't even make my house payment with that.
And so I had to stretch it. I mean, that's why I've been here 19 and a half years, $350 a month. I can't live nowhere no cheaper. And so
I need me some of that.
I've been here 19 and a half years. I just got my third power bill. It was over $100. So this month, matter of fact, it was 126. I like to croak. But fast forward to June, I find myself at my doctor in front of a little 5'4" Vietnamese guy, patting on my belly, and he goes, "You're not gonna live maybe 2-3 more years." He said, "You too big." He said, "You on 25 pills a day." He said, "You're not gonna live 2-3 more years if you don't get a grip on your health." And so that ain't what you really want to hear, that you ain't going to be around 2 or 3 years. I thought it was something terminal, and it could have been if I didn't take that 45-minute drive home, order the Feel Great system, and I got started July 1st of 2024. I've been on it 6 months and 10 days now. But in the 90 days, I got my A1C from my 8.8 down to 5.7. I was on 8 blood pressure pills a day.
I'm showing your 90-day
That's
picture.
my 90-day picture. Yeah. I was down 66 pounds in that picture. I went from an 8.8 to 5.7 on my A1C, and I was off 16 pills in that picture. And so I went into the mindset kind of like Jimmy, I was just riding my 90 days out and going to get my money back because I had tried Isogenics, Herbalife, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers. I hated counting points. I hated counting calories, weighing food, replacing meals with protein shakes. And I thought, well, this is just another one. And but those others never offered me my money back.
No.
This one did. My doctors never offered me my money back when I was giving them all of the money for this every month. And so I thought, well, just give it a shot. And to my surprise, it started working very good. And the weight started coming off. They called and said, "You ain't got to take your metformin and glipizide no more." I said, "I quit taking that nearly 6 weeks ago." And So
You're
I
like,
started
"Man."
coming out. I came off of 7 blood pressure pills during that 90 days. So I knew that this was legit. It was the real deal. And so 6 months, 10 days, I'm down 103 pounds. The last time I got on these scales, I'm off 21 pills per day. I still take 4, and I've totally reversed type 2 diabetes. Chronic fatigue's gone. The inflammation's gone. My neuropathy is about 85 to 90% better. And I actually feel like getting up and doing something now instead of laying around, drowned in my sorrows with pizzas and being lazy. And speaking of lazy, Jimmy mentioned every time I go to a gym, I can walk in and I just start sweating. I'm allergic to them. I don't enjoy those places. If you do, that's fine. I don't like going there. And I've done every bit of this with zero cardio, zero exercise, and that's kind of the way I like it.
But do you find that you are more active than you were before just because you feel better?
Absolutely. I mean, my son, he's 31 now, and but even during his teen years and things, I was like Jimmy. I didn't feel like going outside and doing things, which he never got involved with sports, thankfully. I mean, when I was in high school, if you didn't play sports, then you was just a thug. I played them all, and
So's Lance, Heather.
made all state on a lot of them. So that was
Do you
my
guys still
thing
see
back
the chat
then.
or no? Oh, okay.
On the laptop.
Sorry.
But
I'm laptop.
yeah, I missed out on a lot of time with him. I didn't take the vacations and all that type of stuff, and I think he has a lot of resentment about that now because we're sociable, but we don't have that close, tight knit father son relationship that I wished we had. But it just is what it is, I guess. But I just I've got 2 grandkids, 9 and 4.5, and I help them learn to ride their bicycles with the training wheels, chasing them up and down the driveway. That's something you would never have saw me doing.
Right.
And
Right.
so there's a lot of positives with this. A lot of positives. Saving the money, that was the main thing.
Right.
$8 a day on breakfast. That's $240. This right here was $300 a month. That's $540 a month. Then in 4 months, I had an extra $2,800 wondering where it come from because I know those dudes up there in Washington didn't send me nothing extra.
Right. Right. And as parents, Jimmy and I talked about this and got all sucked up the other day. As parents, we know we feel bad, but you still have to get up and you still have to go and you still have to take care of the kids and take care of responsibilities. And it's like you're on this, you feel like crap autopilot, but there's no alternative. You just can't curl up in a ball and, in a corner and just stop, living. And so when you start to feel better and then you realize this has been around for 35 years. And who could we have saved? How different could our lives have been? And I was so exhausted when my kids were younger and so stressed out. My cortisol levels were high and I was grumpy. I purposely, made excuses not to go to the park. What? I purposely made excuses not to go to the park, or just because not because I didn't want to take them or didn't love them. It's literally because I was so exhausted all the time. And I just thought, like, oh, this is just life. This is a life of a single mom, or, I had no idea that I was insulin resistant. And so, I'm not saying I have the most energy in the world. I still need to lose 120 pounds, but like the way I feel now versus the way I feel when my kids were little, is so different. We would have taken more camping trips and gone to the zoo more, and gone to the park and went fishing more, and I would have done all these things with them. And so I feel like we all got robbed a little bit because of insulin resistance. And I know Carrie got robbed.
Yeah, I mean, people telling us to eat all the day long, and we think that it's science and it's our doctors care about us and they really do want us to be off our meds, and then you realize they lied about the studies. They don't care. A healthy person is not a customer any longer. So their name of the game is and the sad part is most doctors don't even know it. I mean, they're literally going to school to help people, but then you start realizing the schools are funded by big pharma, and that's what they're going to teach you is how to diagnose and prescribe. So.
Right. That's all they're taught. Yeah. Diagnose and prescribe medications. All right, Renee, you better go to bed if you're going to go shoot 4 babies tomorrow. Oh, I mean, she's a photographer.
I'm a photographer. I have a quinceañera tomorrow, so I have to drive to Arlington to go do it.
That's 5. Sorry, that's 5. 5 babies. Sorry, I know what quints are. Okay.
A big photo shoot.
So like sweet 15 instead of sweet 16.
A quinceañera. I thought you meant quints, like quintuplets. I thought you spelled it wrong. A quinceañera.
I knew what you were talking about.
So, I went quints because I thought you just spelled it wrong. Sorry.
She's special.
Yes.
I knew what you were talking about.
It's about baby, so I need sleep.
Okay, well, thanks for hanging with us. Drive careful.
Okay, thank you. I will talk to y'all. Have a great night. Bye.
Buonanotte.
Okay, bye.
Hey, Lori.
Yeah, you're right, Tanya. You're absolutely right.
Tanya, are you coming in tonight, or are you just going to be from the peanut gallery? I'm trying to get my husband in here. I don't know what he's doing. He's been cleaning the den.
You can come and clean my house.
What's a den?
It looks like middle class white people live there again.
It's like a divan. It's something your grandma called it.
A den?
You're like,
it's a den.
I don't know what that is.
You're a
man cave.
Tonight.
I know what a man cave is.
Yeah, it's just the other room where the other couch is. It's the den. We're going to go sit in the den. We cannot see that. Your camera's fuzzy. We tried to tell you your camera sucks.
I'm trying to adjust it. Hold on, Carrie.
No, it's been fuzzy like we talked about. It's not just that. It's because your other camera.
Just calm down. Let me try again.
Oh, I'm not excited. Oh, yeah, that's better.
There.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Whatever.
I can tell you all this, friends.
Oh, anyway, okay. Well, Carrie, let's talk about you. Let's talk about how you got involved in this.
This is being recorded. I got to be careful what I say. Okay.
This can be good.
No, it's boring. It's boring. All right. You guys know my best friend over here, Michelle.
What are you trying to say? I'm boring?
No, I have to be careful. I know this is being recorded, and I don't want to use anything that can or will be used against me at any given time in the future. So Michelle, she was in a car wreck like 17 years ago, And I don't know why she likes me, but anyway, she just won't go away. She keeps being my friend, and I guess that's good because I guess the Lord knows I need a friend. Okay, so Michelle, she just keeps hanging out, and so she's comes over periodically, but she just kind of she shuffles like her feet like shuffle because she's in this car wreck and like okay, other than being right at 400 pounds, Michelle needs like any surgery you could probably think about. Michelle needs it, like spine, neck, back, knee, foot. I mean, it's all thing. So she's got all this inflammation. She's got IBS. She's just totally erect. She's
We
always
just have to
trying
sing the
do.
song. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
That's Michelle. Head and shoulders, knees and toes. That's Michelle. Anyway, all the way. So she would come over and she was always doing something. And I would do Juice Plus. I'm like, here, take this. She's like, okay. And then she would do something, take this, okay. And then we just, whatever the one's doing, the other one does it. So anyway, she comes to my house, something about carcinogenic acid. She got off TikTok. I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. She's been scammed. She's been scammed. There ain't nothing good on TikTok. It's all from Temu, and you're going to just waste. They're going to hack your credit card. So I was like, okay, I'll drink your dumb carcinogenic acid. I don't know. She went on blah, blah, blah. I don't know what she's even talking about because I wasn't paying attention, of course. I mean, I struggle with following directions anyway. Anyway. Oh, thank you, Heather. Yeah, we have a good time on our adventures. So anyway, she's always like shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And she comes over and she says this tea, and I was like, okay, yeah, okay. Then 2 weeks later, whatever, she went home. I didn't see her for like a couple months. Michelle, you got that picture?
Yeah, hold on.
Anyway, so when she comes back, I see her again, I was like, whoa, what is this? What is this magic tea? I mean, okay, wait, it's some sort of carcinogenic something. What? Chlorogenic acid, Carrie. Chlorogenic acid and some sort of, I was like, oh, whoa, look at that. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, tell me what is this magic tea and how does it work? And so, she went on and I really didn't pay that close of attention, but I thought, okay, I'm just going to be all in because I haven't been able to drop pounds since ever. Okay, really ever. You lose 5 here or there and it just doesn't go away. So because you don't understand the problem. So anyway, after losing my husband 7 years ago to something that I now know is preventable and reversible. And anyway, colon cancer, you realize that there's a lot of information that's being withheld from you that you just got to educate yourself about, but you don't know where to even start because everyone says one thing. I mean, eggs are great this week. That's they're bad for you. Don't have salt. Have salt. I mean, we don't know. We're so confused. So anyway,
it's like the FDA is bipolar. It's like,
yeah,
my granny lived.
So
my granny lived to 100, and she ate eggs and bacon every day.
And you went, oh, that is, the natural stuff people living off thousands of years. That's still fine. It's the new stuff in the last 50, 60 years that we're all have all these conditions that no one's ever really heard about, or that's not been epidemic anyway. Okay, so like day 1 she didn't need a nap. Day 3, I don't know if you've ever traveled with anyone with IBS. That stands for itchy butt syndrome. I mean irritable bowel syndrome. Michelle.
I guess if you don't wipe good.
I mean, okay, guys, listen, Heather's. Oh God, Heather. That's right.
Okay,
you never trust them. You never trust the part if you have IBS.
Anyway, Michelle had IBS, and if y'all don't have a friend with that or anybody in your family, what that means is every restroom from here to anywhere you're traveling to, they got to go check it out. They got to check. And if you don't have time to get to that bathroom, you got to go in Walmart and get new clothes. Sometimes you just find in a ditch. And I'm just like, oh, where's it? Okay, Michelle's. Oh! Okay, so listen, it's not a happy time. But day 3, like, it was gone. Like, she's had that for 20 years, guys. 20 years. 20 years. You know how much she's probably spent in Angel Soft. You talk about, Michael, you talk about your stock. I should have bought a stock in Angel Soft because I'm telling you, I could have been rich. I just didn't think about it. Anyway, maybe we should because everyone's on that Ozempic, Michael. Let's go ahead and get some. It's real popular, Anyway, So I thought I'm going to be all in, something about this tea and you're supposed to skip breakfast or something. I don't really know, but I was doing it. I'm taking like lots of my Juice Plus. I'm doing all this stuff. And then that guy from James De La Fuente, he's like,
Yeah,
Michelle, what are you
James
drinking?
Johnson, too.
He's like, I'm drinking the collagen powder, the Oasis. You can mix it in your tea. And then I was like, what? So Michelle's
Yep.
like, I'm like, well, give me some of that. I didn't know it's $3 a packet. I was like, and wait, what's this matcha? Guys, I had my own Starbucks. I put in the matcha, put in the strawberry blue, whatever flavor of Oasis, put it in my little tea packet. I mean, I got $7 of healthiness
And she
in this
called
cup.
her Starbucks Unicity.
Yeah, so I was just sipping on that, just doing my thing. Well, we get to whatever that thing is where Yvette's at, that Vegas thing where we're all,
The Rise event.
yeah, because she's like, oh, we have this event and we're gonna go and we're gonna talk about somebody and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about, but okay, road trip, road trip, whatever. Let's go. Road trip. So anyway, I see Yvette, and now Yvette's our diabetic gal. She's not diabetic. She's a diabetes educator. She was an ER nurse, all sorts of stuff. Anyway, so I walked up to her. I'm like, okay, I got the Oasis, and because I was like, this stuff isn't working. Like everyone's like, oh, it works so good for me. I did this, and I'm like, it's not doing anything. So I walked up to that
consistently and properly.
Listen, okay. So I'm showing her that. I'm showing her my Juice Plus. I'm showing her my matcha and my Oasis and my tea, and she's like, that's the old matcha breaks your fast. And I was like, oh, great. So listen, I've already started it once because she came to my house and told me and I wasn't paying attention. Number 2, now this is the second time. Now I have to restart again. Okay. What did I do the second? I don't even know, guys. I have started this
time you were still you weren't eating enough. You were still doing that.
I don't know what the heck I was
shake
doing.
thing or whatever you were doing.
Whatever the heck it was. This is my 4th time.
And oat milk.
Okay, listen. Anyway, whatever it is, don't break your fast before the 16 hours are up. That means don't have your dang vitamins. Don't be putting stuff in your coffee. Whatever the heck it is, just drink the tea. Just the tea. Now, once you're ready to have lunch, have your stuff. But anyway, so then the pounds started going off, and I was like, oh my gosh. And my joints were like, inflammation. And then I was thinking, why'd I walk in this room? God, my grandma used to do that. What'd you get, Michael? You're a distributor.
Yeah.
He got one of those.
Oh, mine's over there on the floor behind my desk. But I'm not as cool as you guys yet. Michael, are you a director?
No. I've got this is my second one.
Heather says you
Executive
need to help her
manager.
gain. Carrie.
Executive manager.
We'll help you. We'll help you, Heather. My kids, some of them.
Just like that. 1, 2.
Yep.
Wow, you got them framed and everything. Mine's over there on the floor somewhere. Anyway, whatever. I mean, it's a piece of cardboard. They just mail it to you. I mean, I don't know. Y'all get all excited about that stuff, but that's fine. Anyway, so the pounds started coming, and the thing was, I didn't realize how in a dark place I was. Like, your 5 traumas in 5 years, and that includes 3 people that pass, and anyway. So the tea, it started helping with that. More energy. You started feeling good, and so I was just like, listen, I got to tell my sister-in-law about this. So, because I mean, Tammy, you on here?
You got Hashimoto's.
Okay. Yeah, Tammy has Hashimoto's, and I was like, I know
tag her. You
like,
think she's up?
Yeah, tag her. See, would it be cool if we could get Tammy in here? How do we do that?
Oh my God, you all would pee yourself because her laugh.
Yeah, Tammy, my sister-in-law, she's a hoot. Anyway, she's had Hashimoto's for I don't know how long, and so she just was, done. Like, you're just sick and tired of life. You don't know what to do. You're not going to do anything drastic, but you're just like, this is what my life is. I come home from work exhausted. I sit there. I just, what am I going to do? So I said, Tammy, listen, I don't know if this stuff works or not, but you got 90 days and they literally guarantee your blood work. And if you're not happy, you just call the 1-800 number. You say, listen, I want my money back, and they give you your money back. I'm like, so you have nothing to lose. So I mixed up some balance, and I said, this is supposed to heal your gut. Cause she was like, my gut feels like oats and straw. And I was like, so in my mind, I'm kind of picturing the scarecrow on the Wizard of Oz. And I was just like, okay, but I didn't say that to her. I didn't want to, anyway, sorry, Tammy. That's what I was thinking when you said it. Anyway, so I was like, well, I mean, let's just see if this helps your tummy, So she took a drink, and guys, I'm telling you, so she did it, set well with her stomach. And then she started sipping the tea. I don't know, Tammy, what was it like 3 weeks later, she's calling my daughter, hey, I'm going to get a gym membership. So next thing you know, they're doing
No,
a gym
I mean,
membership.
she called you within like the first week, and it was just like, oh,
Yeah, she was already noticing. She's like, I'm scared that I had a good day because I don't have good days, but very rarely. And when I do, the next several months are horrible. And so she's like, okay. So yeah, like, I mean, then she's doing line dancing classes, and then she's put in a huge garden, and she loves to can, and she canned the whole dang thing all summer, and she's dropping the pounds. She's just like, it's a new life. Well, she ran into my other sister-in-law, and some of y'all know who Jamie is. We call her Aunt Hilarious. So they were at Lowe's, and my sister-in-law, they're great. But my brother-in-law, he's walking along and he's pushing his basket, and Jamie's like, "Oh, Kurt, I think that's Tammy." Oh, come on, Jamie, we've got to go. We've got stuff to do because he knows they're gonna go. So anyway, that's what happened. And she's like, "Girl, you look good." Oh, I know. Carrie has this magic tea. She's going back and forth. And so, so Jamie calls me. She's like, I got to try something. My grandson thought I was having a baby. And I was like, well, okay, let's try something. So anyway, I told her, I don't even know what the heck this stuff is. Some sort of magic tea Michelle has. You just sip on it and skip breakfast. And then when you get ready to eat, you just chug the fiber, and then don't be snacking. Just have your meals. No snacking. So she's like, okay. And I went over, she sipped the tea. She thought it was great. Well, I keep asking her how it's going. And then she finally called me. I guess she's dropped like a substantial amount of weight, like, I don't know, 40 pounds or something. And then her cardiologist, though, like, was amazed at her blood work, like thinking, what the heck are you doing? So, I mean, it's going really good, guys. And I just, my son, reflux, 15 years, same, this med, 15 years. And, Jacob, you know that sometimes you're a patootie head, and you didn't start this in April. Like I gave it to you in April. And he didn't start till July. And like 3 weeks in, I guess he forgot to take his reflux meds. And he was like, he hadn't taken them since. Okay. So yeah, 15 years on meds for reflux.
But he kept telling her since April, it ain't working for me.
It's not working.
But he hasn't even drank it yet. He just didn't tell her that.
Yeah. And I keep thinking, well, God, everybody, are they just lying to me about this stuff? Am I just thinking it's good and it's not? I don't even know what the heck
I know he ain't taking it right. I know he's not doing it right. That's the problem. He's not doing it right.
Well, guys, my daughter-in-law, and I was like, listen, I'm just going to help you guys to just take this, because I know if they had to buy it, they were like, oh, we're not going to do it. Jacob would be like, I'm not going to buy it. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to get it. And I'm really kind of hoping to get a grandbaby out the deal.
Yeah, she totally had ulterior motives.
I did tell her that, because I'm like, people keep saying it reverses PCOS. So I was like, well, okay. I mean, let's give it a whirl, right? So yes, as you just heard, at this coming April, I'll be getting a grandson. His name is Samuel. And so anyway, I'm super excited about that. But yeah, so there you go. That's kind of me. And I just feel like if people can understand why you're sick, which is your insulin's high, and to keep it low, we need to fast. We need to only have 2 meals a day and stop snacking. And gosh, think how much money you're going to save anyway. We're like, oh, we can't afford it. Michael, what'd you say? $2,800 you found laying around in your bank account?
Yep. 4 months.
4 months.
Guys, we're spending money. We don't even know what we're spending. I mean, my grocery bill by buying this stuff, it's like $159 for 90 drinks. These 90 drinks literally reverse insulin resistance. They literally heal your gut, your microbiome, your second brain. And then you feel great. You're thinking, well, I'm eating something anyway. I'm drinking something anyway. Why don't I use my grocery money on this stuff and start feeling good? Okay. I mean, I like that list from a vet about it increases your GLP-1 by 70, increases your ketone by 60. It aids in digestion. It helps with brain fog. It helps with, where's the whole list? Who's got that?
Lowers your oxidative stress by 50%.
That's why it's great for athletes. Yeah.
Right.
Increases your lift by 13 if you're an athlete. Michael, you know all about it. Tell us about the tea.
He
remembers.
Like, thanks, Harry.
He knows about the tea and the fiber. Michael, go ahead into detail about the sciencey stuff.
Do y'all know, first of all, I was in 2 live streams today. First time I ever met these people.
Marlia,
that's the first time. And a guy named Jeff.
Lanham.
Lanham, yeah.
Yeah, really cool guy.
Yeah, I love Jeff. Yeah, he's great.
It seems like when I go into these rooms nowadays, it's just a bam, it's there. Join. Right. So I'm enjoying meeting new people, but
there's a but. But what?
I know it's
Michael?
like, what? Yeah, but what? Okay, go ahead.
We're the OGs, Michael.
Right. I'm trying to think who I'm going to do that live stream in the morning with, because I've never met but two of them. One of them. One of them's named JoJo.
Yep.
Michael JoJo.
Yeah, Heather.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I know Joe really well. I met him before he lost all that weight. Like his transformation's like yours. His is amazing too.
Yeah, I met him in Vegas.
I can't even think of the name of the others.
Refer people, Heather.
I just met Diane one day this week.
Which one?
And then I've got three other people that's trying to line me up from the Huntsville area. I don't even know them. They're everywhere.
Pimped out. PIMP.
I forgot what I was fixing to talk about though.
It's because you're a new star.
I wanted you to
That's
talk
the
about
chlorogenic acid.
The chlorogenic
Yeah, what is in that stuff? Yeah, what is chlorogenic acid?
Chlorogenic acid comes from a yerba mate plant in South America, which is a powerful polyphenol. It's an insulin sensitizer. That's one thing that it does. It's also a powerful anti-inflammatory. It gets rid of that inflammation and stuff out of our body that our body don't need, for one thing. Mm-hmm. And it starts giving you the energy. Lowered my blood pressure enough that I went from 8 blood pressure pills down to just 1 now. Got me off of the same thing that metformin does without the vitamin B12 deficiency side effect from metformin that causes neuropathy. And I increased my own GLP-1 by 70% without having to inject this particular chemical into my gut that caused me to stay in the bathroom so much. And I think that's about, might be missing something on a chlorogenic acid. And the fiber that we drank that's been studied by the Cleveland Clinic, they say taken regularly, it could reduce cardiovascular risk on a population basis. I mean, that's big, population basis. Reducing cardiovascular, that's the number one eliminator from unaliveness is cardiovascular problems. And,
right.
And get us off of those lipid-lowering medications, like the number one medicine in the United States written is Lipitor, which is a statin. And then you got Crestors, Atorvastatin, Rosuvastatin. There's all types of statins that literally cause us to be insulin resistant. It causes us to have type 2 diabetes. There is a list. Carrie's put that list up there, and it just blows my mind what that list, the side effects from that stuff. It is. I'm fixing to find out who started inventing statins, because I know exactly where the GLP-1 stuff come from. That the guy in South America that was studying the Gila monster, and he's like, that thing don't look like he ever gets hungry, or if he does, he don't eat a lot. And so he takes his saliva and his blood and creates a peptide that it's GLP-1. And he goes, humans have GLP-1. And
Akira Endo, a Japanese biochemist.
Oh, well, he needs a good swift kick in the rear. And but these receptor agonists that they make for these GLP-1s, they make them in a lab. They are synthetically made. They're produced to mimic what our ale cell in our small intestine does, which creates GLP-1, which is another hormone. It's a very important hormone as far as feeling full and satiety, eating less, and But when you start putting these chemicals in you, the side effects are unbelievable. 58% more likely to develop thyroid tumors. Jimmy don't have one, so maybe he can avoid that. 78% more likely to get medullated thyroid cancer. And a 5.1% population on a GLP-1, which is 1 out of 20. There was 20 million Ozempic prescriptions in 2024, and just in the United States. That means there's 2 million people that's probably got gastroparesis.
Right.
And I just don't want to do that. I tried this for a month, and that's all I needed to try it. Because it was unbelievable. Unbelievable trying those. And
My husband's almost unalived him.
40% muscle mass loss, including cardio muscle.
I mean, because your heart's a muscle.
Right.
People don't think about it. Your heart is a muscle.
University of Alberta, Canada, has got the. I've got it saved on my laptop here. It's them along with LSU, believe it or not, from the Southeastern Conference got together, and it's reducing heart, causing all types of problems. I would rather do it naturally from this yerba mate plant that contains chlorogenic acid.
I mean, you have those people in the rooms that I go into, and
I've been banned from several GLP rooms.
Me too. People are talking about it, and people are asking about, well, what about muscle loss and this and that, and they're like, oh, just eat more protein. And I'm like, yeah, protein's going to help your heart because it's a muscle. Yeah, they either mute me or block me too. But people just don't think about it. And, I understand people's desperation because I've been there. I thought those were the answer because my neurosurgeon introduced those to me.
Well, you also have the lack of knowledge too.
What?
You also have the lack of knowledge too, because I didn't know about any of this stuff either.
Nobody's telling anybody that, but the industry knows that. The industry knows what it's doing to people, and they're preying off people's desperation for the almighty dollar. I'd hate to be on their judgment day, I assure you. I don't know how you combat unaliving millions of people, but
I haven't got to tell y'all about my, I got asked to leave, or when I went to my grocery store, the manager asked me to leave. Well, yesterday I had my local pharmacist ask me to leave.
Wait, your grocery store asked you to leave?
Yep.
Why?
He asked him where the health section was.
I had my cell phone out, going up to the 3 girls at the 3 checkout lines and the 3 bag boys. And I was asking them where the health food section of the grocery store was. And I was filming them, and none of them could tell me where it was. And then the manager came over there. And so I just put the phone on him. It was a camera, yeah. I said, I want to know where the health food section in this grocery store is. I said, I'm working on my health, and I want to eat healthy, and I want to know where the health food section is. And he didn't even know. All I was trying to get him to do was point me toward the produce section.
Right.
And
but I didn't even realize what you were saying.
But it was starting to create an audience, and he said that I was causing trouble and he would appreciate it if I would just go ahead and leave. And I said, because I told him in amongst our conversation I was making a TikTok video, and he's like, oh, no. And so he walked me to the front door, and I just left. I didn't cause any more problems. And then yesterday, my mom wanted me to go to the go to the pharmacy and pick up her meds because she does it. Whatever her doctor tells her to do, that's what she's going to do. And she doesn't want to bend and to try these. And but anyway, while I was in there, between 2 and 3 o'clock every day, there's a big table in there where all your senior citizens come and gather around and drink coffee and talk about everybody and gossip. And so I was over there talking with them, and one of them said, what in the world have you done to lose weight? So I start talking about it, and I start giving them all business cards,
Yeah.
because 4 of those guys that were sitting there were on insulin injections, even at their age. And then when I went up to the counter to get my money, there was like 5 or 6 people up there. And I'm like, hey, what are you here for? Oh, I'm getting some medicine. I said, what kind of medicine? Just being blunt about it. And I'm like, well, I'm on cholesterol medicine and high blood pressure medicine. I said, you know what? Here's my card. I said, I can tell you how to get off that, and you won't have to be buying that stuff anymore. And then after I went ahead and got my mom's meds, I paid for it. And then after I got about the 6th card handed out, the pharmacist comes out there and he goes, hey, Michael, how you doing? I said, I'm doing good. He goes, these business cards you're giving out, he said, I've seen your Facebook page. He said, is this the products you're taking? I'm like, yeah. He goes, I appreciate it if you wouldn't be giving them cards out in my pharmacy. And he said, because I'm like, okay, is there a problem? And he goes, well, he said, he said, I'm in the pharmaceutical business. And he goes, from what I've seen from yours, you're in the nutraceutical business. And I said, you're exactly right. I said, because all of those pharmaceuticals that I've been buying for you the last 20 years, they never helped me reverse type 2 diabetes. I said, I can help people reverse type 2 diabetes naturally without having to buy all this stuff. He said, well, you're hurting my business. And I'm like, I wish I would have had you on camera saying that.
Michael, you know what you do?
That's going to happen. It's only going to get worse. It's going to get worse for us.
You tell him, you go in there and you say, hey, I want to have a conversation with you. How would you feel?
I mean, he was nice about it. He was nice.
Well, right. But you flip him. Look at Amanda, look at all the pharmacists that are like, I am done with it.
Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have his store selling just Unicity products in there, and then all he'll be banking bank.
Well, I mean,
and then so would Michael.
I was having conversations with his customers, but I was just offering them a solution. That's what we do. We educate, not medicate. We offer you a solution. You don't have to take it. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're just giving you a different alternative than to taking chemicals, So, but yeah, I can kind of see why he was getting upset, because he knows I've got something that will work.
Well, then why didn't he come up and ask you about it?
Because that's how he makes a living, and if I take his customers away, then he can't sell his pharmaceuticals. And
imagine.
But he can start selling nutraceuticals.
How much more money and how many more people would order this from him, way more than the pharmaceuticals that he's selling. I assure you.
I agree.
And how many more people he could reach.
But,
right.
And then after I left there, I have downloaded the Yuka app on my phone, the YUKA. You can get it from the Google Play Store. Anything that's got a barcode in the grocery store, it will tell you the chemicals in it. It will tell you everything about it. And so I recently had my soap expedition that caused me to break out and everything, and I know what the chemical is in that soap.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found some cereals that have it. And
cereal is the same thing as soap?
Oh yeah.
The
stuff they put in Drano, they're putting in cereal. And also they're putting it in
Nice.
soap, and that's what was causing me to break out so bad. Antibacterial soap from Irish Spring. But I spent about 15 or 20 minutes in the grocery store just on the cereal aisle. And I played it real cool because I went and got some soap off of the shelf that had that chemical in it. And I came back over to the cereal section, and I would pick up, I knew what cereals had it, and I would scan it. Well, it would pop it up on my phone, and then somebody was getting cereal and putting in their buggy. I said, "Hey, ma'am," I said, "Could I show you something right quick?" And I said,
No wonder they're kicking your butt out of the grocery store, Michael.
"Well, how else am I going to educate them?"
No, listen, I agree. You probably don't know because you were still listening to Jim at the time. Then I'll let you finish telling you. But I want to tell you about this. There's a young kid who's 20 years old who used to be addicted to the heavy things that people use. He turned his life around, and somebody told him about this protocol and told him about the business side of things. And he goes and he literally he talks about this. His name's Bertram. He goes in grocery stores, gas stations, wherever, and he's like, "Hey, who's got type 2 diabetes? Who's got PCOS?" He's like, look at all this crap in here. He's talking about the candy. So you're reminding me of Bertram. He's a 20-year-old kid, and the thing is he's helping thousands of people. He also makes $100K a year. Just saying, 100 or not a year. He's making $100K a month right now. A month by helping people. And he goes in grocery stores. So you listen, get kicked out of all of them. Go ahead, Michael. Finish your. So you called her over.
Yeah, I called her over and I said, "Look," I said, "I've been on a health journey." I said, "I've got this app on my phone." I said, "You're not going to believe this." I said, "I just scanned this cereal. You just happen to have a box of it in your buggy." I said, "You see this chemical right here?" I said, "It's found in soap." And I showed it to her. I said, "This soap right here, I mean, this is the chemical that's in it." And then I picked up her box of cereal and I scanned it. I said, "Guess what? You're fixing to eat what they put in Drano and in soap." I said, "Do you think that's very healthy?" She's like, "Well, heck no." I said, "These food companies are highly processing our food and stripping the fiber out of it, and they put these chemicals in it so they'll stay on the shelf for 2 or 3 months without spoiling." And I said, "Then when you eat them, it's going to have all kinds of things happen to you,
Poisoning
like
ourselves.
resistance, and you're going to have the screaming diarrhea." And I said, "You're going to have all kinds of problems from this cereal." And I said, "I don't think you should be getting that." She took that cereal and put it back on the shelf. She said, "Which one of these cereals is healthy?" I said, "None of them." I said, "You need to start eating bacon and eggs."
That's right. That's what I had to do.
Hey, back to the pharmacy thing. So what happened to you? Can you imagine if Big Pharma comes to him and says, "Hey, where's our products?" You know how the other day that guy got pow-powed because he came out of a hotel and blah blah blah.
Oh, yeah.
Big
Yeah.
Pharma, they got the money. Can you imagine all these pharmacists start dropping off and you're like, "What? Oh, they started selling this nutraceutical and I don't know what happened to them. They disappeared." It's like, think of the
But
consequence of that.
I guess I was generating leads.
Did she go to the bacon egg aisle or what happened?
I don't know. She just left. I stayed on cereal aisle. I done it to 3 people. All 3 of them put cereal back.
That's funny.
Hey,
This
what you
was-
guys
I
are
mean,
Speaking
this
of-
was
Go
literally.
shopping with you. I'd have a heck of a time. I'd be Snapchatting it. I'd be live. Be like, listen, Michael's
I literally
Michael's
left
doing
the
Michael things.
drugstore, drove across the street to the grocery store, and I went on my tyranny. I mean, I didn't have nothing else to do. I was bored. Snow was coming.
No.
Place was packed, and my mindset is, hey, there is leads. Both places, there's leads.
Next time you got to go stand on the bread aisle because when it's getting ready to snow, all the bread and milk.
Oh,
Well, there
yeah.
wasn't nothing there to get, so
Yeah. Okay.
next thing I could think of was a cereal.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of all those chemicals for the shelf life, I saw a video the other day. A guy got some of those ice cream sandwiches from Walmart, like the Great Value brand,
Yeah.
and took them home. And he actually took them out of the little paper wrappers that they come in, and just set it out, and they didn't melt overnight.
I found one in my garage like 3 weeks after the kids had knocked it out of the freezer, and I was like, it wasn't melted. And I opened it, hard as a rock, never melted. I was like,
Isn't that crazy?
what are we eating? And now they're creating some sort of fake butter out of plastic and carbon dioxide. It's like, I'm not sure how this is okay. Like, here, just eat some plastic. You're like, okay, it tastes good.
AJ and Kathy, here's the FB group. Right here.
Oh, I got to join that. Root cause wellness. Did you invite me to that? Am I a moderator?
The girl,
Ooh, I
I
love
invited you to be a moderator like 17 years ago.
Doctor, this is a new one. And guys, look at that. Look at that logo. Isn't that
Even an
amazing?
administrator.
Something I don't
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
she's
She
talking
don't know
about.
what she's talking about, but yes, that.
Use the
Okay,
same
so that's
link.
the FB group. Let me see. I'm waiting on my husband. He's finally got back from whatever he's doing.
Why did you send me Restream on Messenger? You know I never get on that Messenger. Half the time it's like, you have to
Listen,
update
I
to see your
know, and
messages.
then I
I'm like,
emailed it to you because I wasn't thinking.
I know. It's like, I'm not updating to see messages. I don't care how old they are. Like, whatever. Just text me. People got my phone number.
So, does anybody have any questions on what we're talking about?
Yeah, Heather, you got any questions?
Yeah, you're our only
Tanya?
friend.
I'm waiting on Lance is supposed to be coming in, but he's technologically challenged like my sister wife here. But at least you could figure out how to get in the live.
Oh, by the way, I'm on the Wikipedia page of that chemical. It says the United States Food and Drug Administration recommends these levels to be monitored, but went ahead and approved it according to federal law.
Monitored. You think they monitor any of that crap?
I just see how many people get killed over and they go, oh, yeah, boy, we're monitoring that. Look at that.
Yep.
Lance can tell you about some of the things they had him eating on The Biggest Loser. Like, I can't believe it's not butter. How the heck are you on a weight loss show telling people that they can't eat real butter?
You know, people that
Because they
buy
say
that
butter's
stuff,
bad for you.
you know, can't believe it's not butter and it squirts.
You did
Those
that
are the
really good.
Those are the kind of people that get out of the shower to pee.
You did that so good. Like do you like
What'd you say, Michael? Those are the kind of people that what?
That's just like
Those are the kind of people that get out of the shower to pee. When they could just, pour the drain hole and watch it go down.
Well, hopefully they get out of the shower to poop.
Well, I sincerely hope they do that. But peeing, I mean, it just,
y'all are going downhill. Okay, we must have been on too long. Okay, how is everyone good?
No, hold on. Lance is supposed to be coming.
And
Anyway,
y'all are just talking about butter and real butter. So I kind of grew up eating margarine, like Country Crock.
We all did. Country Crock,
And,
yeah, absolutely.
And even to probably about a year ago, I was still using Country Crock. And it's funny, I was just about to buy a new pan to cook the scrambled eggs in, because they would like stick to the non-stick pan.
right.
But as soon as I switched over to real butter, guess what? It stopped sticking to the pan.
Right.
So weird. I was like, this is
I just got a
amazing.
new. I just got a new one, and it's not. Oh my goodness, what is it called? It's coated with
Teflon.
ceramics. Is that it? Ceramic?
Yeah, some enamel.
No, no.
T-foul.
No. Oh my goodness, it's just right here.
It's like, I got to go get it. What is he doing?
Who, Lance?
Morgan. Kathy, I'll show you real quick. Hold on. Let me show you again. Here's here's the page, Kathy. It's gonna pop up in just a second. There you go. That's what the page looks like. Hey, Miss Donna. Let me know when you see it, Miss Kathy. Okay, perfect. All right, what kind of pot is it?
Uh,
A walk? It's probably a different platformer.
Oh, yeah, it's on. So the Ticky Tack doesn't I still have to monitor it because it doesn't pull the comments over. So it'll pull it off YouTube. It'll pull it off of here. It also doesn't do it for IG either.
Hey, do you have to have a certain number of people for YouTube to go live?
I don't think so.
I'm like, so I can add that platform.
Which one, Jimmy?
YouTube.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It told me that it takes 24 hours for it to connect. And so I guess I don't
it's
know.
a triple layer of ceramic.
Triple layer of ceramic. Okay.
Yep.
So it's non-stick.
You don't even have to put any butter or oil in it. I
But
crack
it
12
tastes
eggs in it every day and just scramble them, and it never sticks. Never. Come from Walmart.
Walmart.
$20, big 12-inch skillet. It's nice.
Came from Walmart. Well, my granny
You
used to
said
call
you
it
can cook a
Walmart.
dozen eggs in that?
Yep.
You eat a dozen eggs at a time?
Yep.
And like 6 to 8 pieces of bacon.
Yep.
No, I can eat a dozen pieces of bacon and 3 eggs. I had 3 eggs today, a hamburger patty with cheese on it, like fresh ground from the butcher. Her son made some hamburger patties, so then I piled on about half a pack of bacon, 3 eggs, and then I grated up some 3-pepper Gouda cheese
I
and made
buy them 15 dozen at a time.
we got farm fresh butt nuggets. Wow. I don't know. He said it blocked his microphone. Anyway, Tanya said she had carnivore biscuits and gravy and SOS.
There's no such thing as a carnivore biscuit.
That's true. But when you're trying to just do a little thing, it's better than nothing.
I say they ain't. I don't know. She comes up with some stuff. She may have pulled a magic rabbit out of the hat and have some
She
carnivore
could have.
biscuits.
So, does anybody have any questions? Cheryl's still trying to. My husband
Michael
is
was talking about.
having a hard time.
Michael, I want to try one of those cauliflower crust pizzas.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Oh, I've done those, yeah. Also, the chicken crust pizza, it is phenomenal.
Chicken crust.
Yes, it's got
Never
so much
heard of
bacon
that.
in it. Let me tell you, it is so good. It is
I
so
don't
good.
think we have those in Mississippi.
No, I made it.
Oh, you made it.
Yes, I
That's
made
even
it.
better. Now, Tanya made a pizza made out of pork rinds.
Yes, yes, I've tried that. I like the chicken crust. You can get it. It's a little bit thicker because of the chicken, the cheese. You can also get it a little bit crunchier. Like sometimes the like cottage cheese flatbread that you can put on pizza or make pizza out of or
They just
sandwiches or
don't make
something.
anything any better than
Sometimes
these.
it's a little softer. But I've made the chicken crust pizza many times and Lance just tears it up. Plus it's got so much protein in it. Oh, there she is. I'm still waiting. Tanya, you're just slacking. I don't know why you're not in here with us and telling us. The gravy was hamburger, cream cheese, heavy cream, beef broth, and Parmesan cheese. The biscuit was egg and cheese chaffles.
Mm.
Chaffles are good though.
See there? I
Especially if
told you
you're
she could come up with something.
especially if
You
you're
said, "See there?"
really trying to watch your carb intake, right? But you still want like breakfast foods or that biscuits and gravy or a waffle. So I've made the chaffles even with cheese that had like blueberries and this maple sprinkle seasoning I had. She scanned steakums.
What are steakums?
What are steakums? I don't think we know what that is.
Where's Heather from? What state?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
She's out there with Sheila.
What are yeah, we don't know what those are, Heather.
What are those?
We need to know.
Steakums. Could be beef jerky. North Carolina.
Hold on, I'll just Google it and then I can show y'all.
Looks like a Philly cheesesteak.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely processed. Yeah, let me show you. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. This is steakums. I guess it's supposed to be some kind of like roast beef or it looks really thin. Yeah. It don't even look like meat. Yeah, that's it right there. It don't even look like meat in that picture.
Mm. It almost looks like gyro meat.
Yeah, it does. Does anybody have the nutrition facts on it?
Yep, I got it right here. So 100 calories per serving, 9 total grams of fat, 3.5 grams of saturated fat, 25 milligrams of cholesterol, 20 milligrams of sodium, no carbs, no fiber, no sugars, 5 grams of protein.
5 grams
It
of
says
protein? That's surprising.
ingredients beef.
Beef. It must be all the leftover parts that they squish together and make some kind of meat looking thing. Are you what, the saturated fat? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, it's not anything that I would recommend anybody eating for sure. Look, there he is, finally. Slow? Gosh, you're slow as Christmas dinner.
The big dog.
He named himself. Can we hear you now? Are you on your iPad, babe? You look like a redneck Viking thug right now. Are you on your iPad?
Michael, you snacking there on an apple?
Granny Smith, the only kind they make that's worth a flip. I'm eating my fiber and all, though.
Oh yeah.
Including the wax that's all over the peel.
I washed it.
Okay. Then you start slicing with that dull knife and you slip and all this wax. You're like, what the heck is on my knife? Like, what is this stuff? It's not plastics or anything, I'm sure. It's delicious. I used to buy these apples and by the case, and they said, yeah, those, they gas them. They put them all in the case, put them in a big room, and they gas them all. Because remember how the apple used to turn brown when you took a bite and left it on the counter, and it doesn't do that anymore? And you're thinking, why didn't this turn brown?
Oh, check this out. When I went over a while ago, I used the Yuka app to scan the matcha box.
Yeah.
It says it's poor.
Poor?
Yep, 25 calories, but it's got like 1 gram of 1 gram of protein, 4 grams of fiber, and 0 saturated fat, 0 sugar. Ooh, 1 risky additive. Let's see what it is.
What's the
It might have been the old matcha when it had sucralose in it.
Citric acid antioxidant.
That's this.
Guess what it gives? It says recommendations for alternative: carrot juice and V8.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an
Who came up with that
alternative.
ad? Yeah. Paid for by your local Food and Drug Administration.
Right.
A 3 out of 10.
Okay. We're going to see if he can figure this out. I'm not at home to do this for him, so. If he accidentally forgets, I will disconnect my TikTok.
Something fell.
Nothing broke.
Nothing broke. What is the Yuka app though? Like, you just scan
It looks
stuff?
like a carrot. Yeah, it's just an app.
Like carrot for the icon, and it's a pretty good app because if you can, and it keeps everything that you scan, so you don't have to go back to scan it again. And like, it gives you if it has additives, it's got 7 additives. Click on the additives. Okay, see all the crap. Anyway,
Is your phone connected? Can we share it from? Is your
It's
phone
probably
connected
like
to the
Trash
screen?
Panda. Have you heard of the Trash Panda?
Most of the
I have
boxes
not.
and bagged foods. Yeah, me too.
I found out about this Yuka app on the Huntsville page. A lot of them are using it.
Yeah, it's just like Trash Panda.
Is there a time limit on this? Or are we just gonna keep sitting here?
I can't. Hold on. Be patient, Carrie. Be patient.
Okay.
Coach Dale always uses the Yuka app. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll have to download it. His phone, the mic won't work, so I told him to connect to the iPad, but I think the iPad is connected to the router extension instead of where he's sitting at in the den because it's literally right by him. You know, we did this the other day. But he's got a great story, and that's the thing. If he can just figure it out. Carrie, I'm your tech support too.
David said Alabama's in the house on my TikTok.
Oh, did he? Okay, there he is. Let's see if it'll connect. Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Come on with that, your assistance.
You
He may,
told me to send it to my email, and so I got my iPad checking the adjusting one, and it wasn't popping up. It wasn't showing up on that, and so I thought, I wonder if you sent it to my other email, and there it was. But why will it work through my email, but it won't work through the link that you send me?
I don't know on your phone. I don't know. That's why I told you to get the iPad.
I'm on my
Hi,
phone.
welcome. This is my husband, Lance. Some of y'all have seen him. Some of you haven't. I am live on TikTok just to be mindful of what you got to say.
What she's trying to say is I have a potty mouth.
No, I'm trying to say he got me nannered off of
Oh.
TikTok. For looking at you.
That. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that was an accident.
Yeah, that
Heather
was a
just
joke.
smiling.
That was a joke, but I have no sense of humor.
AI, you mean?
Whoever.
Okay, so let's start talking about you.
Well, my name's Lance. I'm from Texas. I'm 6'3". Got a potty mouth.
Do you like long walks on the beach?
and pina
As
coladas.
long as it's heading into the water and I can go diving, yeah.
What brand of underwear do you like?
We're trying to not get nannered.
Look at that, the
Duluth.
butt naked Duluth, yeah.
Duluth. Ah.
Duluth.
I'm disconnecting my TikTok. No, okay, be good. Be good. There's people listening. Be good. Okay. You're on, Morgan. Tell us your story.
Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, in a land far, far away. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
What you
How
talk
did
about
you-
when you do your live, goofball?
About what?
When you do your live, what you talk about? I don't know. You've been on The Biggest Loser. You've been big your whole life. Like all the things.
No, I usually talk about my pigs and my chickens that I like to eat. I hadn't done a live in so long, I forgot what to talk about. But yeah, I mean, I've pretty much been big all my life, and as she has mentioned several times, I was on season 9 of The Biggest Loser, and that was kind of the start where I started learning a lot about nutrition. And you know, for the most part, it was pretty good. I know y'all were talking about butter earlier. That was obviously one thing I've learned in the last year or two that wasn't correct. One chemical away from being plastic. We used, I can't believe it's not butter, the spray, and then I think we may have had it in a tub too, that you just keep in the fridge. Used it a lot. We still had the, we ate like Ezekiel bread, which, I guess in a whole is probably better for you than most of the highly processed white bread that you can get on the market. and a lot about portions. That was probably the biggest thing that kind of shocked me was what they say a serving is. And my favorite cereal, probably of all time, was Captain Crunch peanut butter. And I had like a small mixing bowl that when I ate cereal, I was probably eating 5 or 6 servings of that at a time, and sometimes I'd fill the bowl twice. Um, so serving size is really. We learned a lot about reading labels. Well, we were just looking like at the caloric intake. We wasn't really looking at the ingredients in the food. You were looking at calories, and because the show, it was all calories in, calories out. We had the little thing we wore on our arm, which I don't even think they make anymore. The body bug that kind of helped keep track of our calories, and you could get on there. And there's other websites like that. There used to be one, I think it was called something like the Daily Plate or the Lunch Plate or something like that, where you could get in and type in what you ate, and a lot of it was preloaded, so it would just automatically pop up. If it wasn't preloaded, you could add it, to your menu, and it helped a lot. I mean, when we was on the show, I mean, that was our job. It was working out. That was the job. It wasn't. We didn't have to deal with day-to-day things like kids, and I mean, you still had to pay bills and take care of some stuff, but it you could kind of guess at your weight loss for that week or whatever. So anyway, the other biggest thing that we were not allowed to have at all, like zero, was salt. And nowadays we understand about how important the salt is, and everybody's, why are you laughing?
I don't know.
We have our own private chat group, and we can text each other separately.
I know
where
y'all
no one
talking
knows.
to each other, and I know you're talking to each other about me.
No, it's not about you. That's what's
No.
funny. It's not about you.
Heather said after you're done talking, she has a question about loose skin because her husband, once he loses down, is going to have some, and that she has some too. And then Michael made a comment in
R-rated comment.
our chat that said, "I have loose skin too until the morning."
No, well, hang on. I think I figured out how to get
Anyway,
the
go
chat deal up, because I couldn't see the chats for the longest.
it's the private chat, Lance. Anyway, it's
This is
Well, I'm talking about the other chat. Whatever this thing is down at the bottom. I thought this was just. I'm not a high tech redneck, so this is all
Okay, just continue on.
way above my pay grade.
I don't even know what Ophi means.
Way above it. But I don't know about the skin stuff. What in the world are you doing now?
Just playing my card game. Michelle's like, "What are you doing?"
Oh,
it's Wuduku or whatever.
anyway, salt was one of the salt and the butter. That was the two things that really stuck out in my mind about being on the show. That is, completely wrong in my book now. And which we didn't really fry much anyway. But the only oils we had were, all the seed oils and stuff. So, as I said, in the last year or so, I've learned a lot of that is so untrue. It was.
Do you think
all
they
about.
knew, or do you think it was just a matter of them not understand? Do you think they even knew about insulin resistance?
I don't even. I mean, I know that they keep saying that people's known about insulin resistance for years and years and years, but I honestly, I don't think they really knew about insulin resistance back then.
And that's because they put you guys through the gambit of tests. Like, they tested everything, did they not?
Oh man, they put us. I mean, I can't remember exactly all the tests that they run us through. Like they did a full body scan where they get like you can kind of see your skeletal system and your fluffiness all at the
Yeah.
same time. It's not real detailed. I mean, they couldn't see the broke bones that I had in my hand or my ankle, but uh, just kind of a general outline type thing. We did stress tests. We were on the treadmill with a breathing mask and just slowly doing the incline. And we even went to USC and they did a lot of. They put these little reflectors on us and made us run in front of cameras so they could monitor our gait and stuff like that. And I mean, they were kind of impressed. They were like, for a guy your age and your weight and whatnot, you're pretty flexible. Crazy little things like we did lots of like stretches and weird things. And I know they did blood work. And if you watch the show on the original weigh-in, where I'm standing up there on the fake scales, you could see this little plastic thing, a little plastic square thing on the kind of on my gut down there. Well, they had me wearing. I don't know what the company was that had it, but it was a CGM, a continuous glucose monitor. But they had it blocked out, so I couldn't see it. It had a little. I had to wear the thing on my pants that sent the information to, but they had it blocked out where I couldn't see what it was. They were telling me, that I had that I was pre-diabetic. They told me I had the most
Carotid artery.
yeah, now I'm having the brain fart.
Plaque.
The plaque or whatever it was in my carotid artery as anybody else on the show, and that kind of put the fear in me. I was like, well, oh my God, what do I do? How bad is it? Oh, well, we don't know. And I'm like, okay. So then I started questioning everything after being there a short period of time because they fish for the drama. They want the reaction, and they were always trying to stir drama up between all the contestants and stuff. Some of it was true, but not all of it was. And so I was like, well, is this just the drama that they're creating? Um, but anyway, and like since we've been on this system, uh, and I guess you could say better information out there. I've picked up a lot from watching, the FB videos. Is probably where I've really learned a lot. Just like seed oils and making our own mayonnaise and stuff like that. And I'm a type 2 diabetic, so then I start realizing, well, hey, these the seed oils aren't all that great. And a lot of the stuff that I was using, um, my they had me on all kinds of medications, and I mean I don't remember exactly how many I was. I was probably taking at least 5 medications a day at one point, maybe even more than that. Some of it I was taking twice a day, some of it I was taking once a day, and I was like, man, I'm taking all this junk, and my sugar's not, it's still not really going down. Well, then I got to looking. One of the products that I'd started using, we could use on one of the sweeteners we could use on the show was Trevia. Well, the little packets were Trevia. It was, I think it's made from the stevia plant or whatever. But I started buying the bigger pouches with a little spout on it. And after months and months and months, probably a year or better, might have been longer than that, I got to looking and I was like, well, this is a sugar blend. So they mix it with the sugar. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it may be a little healthier for you than doing straight sugar, but it still had a lot of sugar. So I'm like, well, that's why my dadgum blood sugar isn't going down. And it was just question after question every 3 months when I'd go back to my PA. And I love my PA. I honestly believe that there are a few physicians out there that really do care, and I think the majority of them are just pushing their product. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Um, so I got to talking to her, and she's like, "Well, I don't know. Let me look that up." And she was like, "Well, it is more natural. It's definitely better for you than the peat packets, but she really didn't know. Really didn't have that much of a to be able to make a good opinion on it. So anyway, over the years, all it boils down to is making better choices and on your food. And just like I said, I keep getting more information every day. Y'all were talking about cereal earlier. Some of the biggest, uh, and I don't remember who makes them, but basically your real colorful cereals is chock-a block full of all the dyes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really thought much about it. I remember when my son was real young, they diagnosed him ADDHD. And I mean, he could sit and play video games, but anything else, he just couldn't keep still. And the only thing I really remember, of course, that's been 25 years ago, was they were like, oh well, take him off of ketchup. Well, I mean, man, he could have that stuff IV'd in him. I mean, he had to catch up on everything. So all the red, yellows, and blue dyes, basically, like your Fruit Loops and Captain Crunch Berry, and
Fruity Pebbles.
I don't even know all the Dino,
Fruity Pebbles, Fruit
yeah,
Loops.
Fruity Pebbles, all that junk. It's just garbage.
Lucky Charms.
It's pure garbage. And I sat there and
So,
got to thinking back. You know, as a kid, we really didn't have. My parents didn't really buy a whole lot of that. We were, we were biscuits and gravy. We ate eggs, we ate bacon and sausage, biscuits and gravy, uh, peanut butter and syrup. And most of that stuff is nothing but garbage too. I mean, you start getting into even the honey is fake now. Half the honey on the market is fake.
right.
So when you go to the grocery store, and Ron, I'd like for you to message me that because that app you was talking about you was using,
That's Michael.
because it's I'm just baffled at why the
So,
government, or
how
you
long?
know why they allow it.
How long did you? How long was it before you gained? You didn't gain all the weight back. You gained the majority of it back. But how long
I
was it?
did, and I don't remember dates. It was a few months after the show was over. Um, After the show was over, we kind of toured South LA a little bit. We were being we were kind of being wined and dined for LA boxing, because that was one of the places that we worked out a lot when we were home. Um, so everybody gets voted off. You go home and you continue your process on your own. And we found these trainers that were awesome. They were MMA fighters, and they worked out of the LA boxing, and they trained us. So they caught wind of it, and they were wine and dine us. And then we come home and was here for a while. We did like a couple of 5Ks or something like that, and then we went back to San Diego. Was it? Yeah, San Diego, and we did another half marathon. And then my wife had gotten a job with a law firm. We had to rush back, and I basically packed up the house. She had already moved to Lubbock, packed up the house, and there's a lot going on. Is my point. My point is, there was. Yeah, I mean, I was on the road a lot. And, you know,
Well, we also went
I
back
just
to work.
didn't think about it. You know, I just didn't think about it. I thought, oh, well, I'm going to stop and get a burger, or, you know, I'm going to stop and get some burritos or whatever. So months later, when I finally started to go back offshore, I was 237 at the finale. And I went back to get my dive physical, and I was 265 is where I was at. And I'm guessing like 6 months after the show. I'd already put on, 25 pounds or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's no big deal, I mean, I still felt good, and 265 is a heck of a lot better than 365. And
Right.
then I went back offshore, and I had no control over my food. I mean, they have cooks on the boat that made meals every day. And at first, I was like, man, I was taking protein powder out there with me, making protein drinks, just trying to keep from eating all the junk. Oh, they got spinach on here. Well, I'd start chowing down on what I thought was, a lot healthier for me. And just slowly, it just kept coming on, coming on. Next thing you know, I don't know, 6 months or
Divorce.
later. No, it's probably, I guess it was probably about a year afterwards. I was back up to 300. And I fought like crazy trying to keep it at 300. And then, I had a lot of stressful crap going on in my life back then as well. And next thing you know, I'm back up to like, three. I don't remember what was that, babe, when we started our own that little Biggest Loser challenge here at the hospital.
352.
350.
352.
Sorry, I forgot 2 pounds. I was 350, and then I'd lost down. I don't know what, 340.
He was having a better time in his life then because he met the love of his life at that point.
She cooked a lot. I wasn't complaining. I'll put it that way. But anyway, then I guess in 2016, sometime or another, that's when I was diagnosed as type 2 diabetic. And
After being a year on a statin, by the way.
oh yeah, that had me on everything. And I'm not even going to argue with you. Diet and exercise is the best you can do. I don't remember my numbers at all. But at one point after the show, I'd come home, and me and my dad both, we always, anytime we could, we'd go donate blood. Well, they'd called, and they if you request it, and Dad always did. So he asked of mine, and she asked him. She said, "What kind of statin is he on?" And he was like, "He's not on a statin." Well, I've never seen cholesterol numbers this low that they weren't on some type of medication.
Mm-hmm.
And the dad was like, "Well, he exercises and has a good diet and everything else." And she was like, "These numbers are phenomenal. I wished everybody had them. And that was another thing that I had figured out. This is one of the things that putting my information in that body bug system that I figured out was because they told me I had high cholesterol. They said, "Oh, your cholesterol's through the roof, and the plaque and this, that, and the other." And I had putting that information in. I was eating a lot of tilapia. Had no clue that was a garbage fish, and it has the highest cholesterol of any fish on the market. So immediately I quit. I didn't eat any more tilapia, period. And we found this wonderful fish called orange roughy, and we bought that stuff like 50 pounds at a time from the grocery store. They would see my wife, now ex-wife, come into the store, and they're like, "Hey, there's the fish lady." I mean, we just bought fish like crazy, and we ate it. This was while we were still working out before the finale. We ate that stuff. Oh, wonderful fish. And then all of a sudden it was overfished and you couldn't find it anywhere. It was illegal.
Yeah, they stopped. They stopped even selling it for years because it was so overfished. But it's the best fish I've ever eaten in my life.
It is. I would rather have it even over fried catfish. You bake it. It's light. It's fluffy. It really absorbs however you season it, whatever flavor you put on it. I think I agree 110%. Best fish on the market. I still hadn't found it. And I still can't find it.
Yeah.
But being on the system, it has bought most of my. She remembers all the numbers. It goes in this ear and out that ear.
His A1C was 15 when he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in 2016, very late 2016. All the medications they tried him on, and they just kept switching him and this and that. And before we started this protocol, his A1C wouldn't even come down below 10. And so then they put him on that jab, Mounjaro. And still, when they put him on Mounjaro, like it had gone from 15 to 10. Then they switched to medications, and it was a 13.2. And so when they put him on Mounjaro, that's where it was at. And so then it came down to a 10, or it was like a 10.7 or something like that. And they're talking about wanting to put him on insulin, or like up in the dough, like something's got to give. And so, he's not reverse. This is the important thing to know about the protocol. He has not reversed his type 2 diabetes yet. The thing is he has something else going on. And if we hadn't started this protocol, we would have never known that. He would have ended up on insulin eventually because his glucose just can't come down. It's down finally. It finally broke a 10 on this protocol. We work with Lindsay. We work with Lindsay Vinn.
It broke a 10, and it is the first time since being on the show that I broke 300 pounds on my own.
In his adult life. And he's not worked out. I mean, he works hard. I mean, he's got a manual labor job, but he's a welder.
I don't always eat, that great. One of the companies that I work for, when we go out to work on stuff, they have a cook. One of the ranches that I work.
Oh, good night,
welding and stuff for. They have cooks out there that does our lunch and stuff. I drink my balance every day before I eat out there. I don't always drink my balance when I get home, but when I've got it in my cooler, I make my tea. It's not a gallon jug. It's one of those store-bought, I don't know, 2-quart little plastic bottle or something. And it's really a little bit more water than you need, but I always make my tea in that at night, stick it in the fridge. Next morning, I pour it in my favorite little camo cup right here. And I put the rest of it in the cooler with a couple of bottles of water, and I have my balance in the bag. I mean, I carry it with me wherever we go. If we have to go to town, she's like, "Hey, I stopped by. We've got a little. I call it the balance bar now. It used to be a coffee bar. So we have a big 2.5 gallon water container there. We have a little plastic divided thing there that we keep our balance, and tea and matcha and fuel or whatever else. I don't even know what all we've got in it. So we'll grab a handful and take with us, So I'm not sitting here trying to even halfway pretend that I eat perfect meals every day. I don't. But it's not getting any worse.
I would say 85% of the time that you really make an effort of watching what you're eating, though.
Yeah, I do. I mean, tonight I had, and yes, I know the air fryers are supposed to be bad for you now too, but I throwed, I did 2 different batches, and I put some chicken strips in there. I mean, just plain chicken, or chicken tenders, chicken tenderloins. They're not battered or anything.
Yeah.
And I use my meat church, some of the seasoning and a little cayenne pepper, and then I was still hungry, so I went and made some more. You know, especially at home, I really try to prioritize protein. I try to get all the protein in that I can. But, you know, they were like, especially here in the last 6 months, um, I was dealing with a lot of family issues, and they were like, "Oh, well, your cortisol levels, you know, it's got to be through the roof." You know, we had that checked. It's normal. We had, I don't know, some other insulin stuff checked. You know,
Glucagon.
we've had. I've been poked and prodded. I feel like I've been in an altercation with a porcupine.
His cortisol levels and his glucagon levels are in normal range, but his cortisol level is in a little bit higher range, and that's probably due to stress. The glucagon, we had that checked because sometimes when you eat protein, your body can break it down more into sugar. There's like a dysfunction in the junction, as Miss Tanya says.
I'm a misfunction, all right.
And so that was normal range. I'm not exactly 100% sure, like, what the high, low, like, exactly where it should be. The last thing to check, and after all these tests, Lindsay Vin, who does our science calls a lot of the time, said that she just thinks that he is incredibly insulin resistant, like stubbornly insulin resistant.
I'm
And
stubborn
so,
too.
well, yeah, that's apropos for you. But what? I haven't been home, so what have your? I mean, I know your glucose came down to 150 that one day, and that was like a miracle. We're hallelujahing over 150. You know.
Yeah, it's been ranging. I would say in the last 6 months, it's been ranging between 180 and 220. I mean, it really fluctuates. And I am highly aware of the dawn effect, but that was kind of my baseline. You know, that's what I've been checking all this time. And even checking it still, I mean, it's not like I wake up and run straight to the cabinet and check it. I'm usually tending the dogs, tending the pigs and chickens and lambs and getting my stuff ready for the day and everything else. And I usually check it before I walk out the door. And I, you know, Michelle's like, "Oh, well, it's the dawn effect. It's dawn effect." Yeah, I understand, but that's still where I've been checking it all this time. So that's my
Yeah, but
baseline,
if you're
and it's
up and you're
still
moving
been there.
around,
But
your
here
cortisol is
lately,
much better.
it has been, you know, a little more below 200 than above. So it's
I know
still
people
been
don't
anywhere from
listen.
150 to 180 or so.
What he needs is the CGM so he actually knows what's going on, because the dawn effect does affect it. It's the
I'm
cortisol.
fully aware.
But he don't listen, y'all. He don't listen. All right. Well, it is 12:43. I'm
Well,
tired.
shoot, y'all still got about another 2 or 3 hours before y'all even go to bed.
Not tonight.
I
Carrie might
got a
be
12-hour
doing her
work day
live right
tomorrow.
now. What, Jimmy?
I've got a 12-hour work day tomorrow.
No, thank you.
That ain't no
I've
step
got
for a
a
stepper.
What?
and I got a training in the morning. We have a training
Training?
with Trent in the morning,
Ah,
starting at 9.
Oh, I got that live stream at 9.
yeah, Michael. At least your
forgot about
grandkids
that.
aren't coming over.
Yeah, I know it.
All right,
There's
well, I'm gonna hop off of here, and thanks for joining us, and we'll do it again another day.
all right.
I'll see you in a couple
Sounds
days, you old
good.
man.
I'll be here. We're gonna haul off the trash in the morning. I'll call you in a minute. Nobody cares about that my junk.
Okay. Good night.